So I'm watching this Sona Replay from Rauji. Alright, so focus camera on you. Sorry, and it seems like you have good starting items. Those are actually really good starting items for Sona. The other thing that you can do is open with 3 green pots, 2 red pots, and 1 mana potion. And you do that if you think that you're going to be doing a lot of harassing early in lane, and you don't necessarily need the pink ward. For example, if you're against a native support where you can hold onto the bush, you don't need the pink ward. But against Tarek, it's a good idea to have a pink ward because you want to be able to be in a place where he can't see you, so that you can walk out of the bush, harass, walk back into the bush, walk out of the bush, harass, walk back into the bush, and you can get a lot of Qs off without them getting vision of you at all, and then auto attacks with them only having vision of you for a sec. It's also a good idea to walk up to the middle of the map like this at the beginning of the game. Since you have pretty strong evidence that they're trying to invade, you might have wanted to drop a ward, especially since you have the Explorer ward. Alright, so one thing that you want to actually do that you didn't do here is that when you get your power cord to 3 stacks at the beginning of the game, you actually want to get your power cord to 2 stacks at the beginning of the game, because getting a power cord resets your auto attack animation. So if your Q starts, if you start out with 2 power cord stacks and then you auto attack and then you immediately Q, then your auto attack animation resets, so you're able to get another auto attack in, so that gives you extra burst. The ward that you placed over here probably should have been a little bit deeper in the bush, because you need it, like at most Akali was there, pretty much, so you could have walked a little bit farther to place that ward, but it was good to use the Explorer ward there. I would have tried to keep your power cord at Fear stack, and then not use the power cord on blue. That was not a good ward. The reason is that, like, their jungler is really likely going to go steal your blue instead. Okay, when you walked into lane that way, Tarek could have gotten a stun off on you, and Ezreal could have done a lot of damage to you. I would have walked a little long way around like this through the tri-bush. Okay, so for that ward, I'd actually put your pink ward there, because Graves is going to push lane a lot harder than Ezreal is, so you're going to end up holding this bush, and you want to be able to hold the bush against Tarek, and Tarek only has green wards, so if you put a pink ward there, it's definitely 100% going to stay pink for you. And then you're going to be able to zone them, like, past their creeps. If you had done that, then at this point it would be appropriate for you to help Graves push the lane to make sure that you get all the way down there. Okay, so you're running back a lot, I'm noticing. So you like run forward and get some good harass off, and then you run back. Like, there's no reason for you to be that far back. There's like no threat right now for you to be standing behind your AD carry. Like, you're a pretty big bully in lane, so you can be standing a lot farther forward if you notice that they're not standing forward. If they start running up to you, then you have to start backing off a little bit. But as long as they're focusing all their attention on Graves, you should just be in the middle of everything. Okay, so it turns out that Olaf did take blue over here, so you should have timed when he did that, so that your jungler can plan on going and stealing his blue leader. And additionally, you should told Amumu that there is no way that that Olaf could have taken Amumu's blue already, since he did get to his blue that early, and then Amumu would know to go to his blue right now. And you get to higher elo, like, if the jungler sees you steal their blue, they're just going to steal your blue right back. Okay, also for that ward, it was really good that you didn't pink that, or sorry, it was good that you didn't stay the ward, because they were aggressing on you there, and you probably would have died if you stayed to play the ward. That's not necessarily the best place for a ward. Okay, I guess I can't put it to manual. If you put it like right over here, then you're able to see the path from the river and the path from Tribush but actually, like, with this lane positioning over here, if they come down river, there's not really much that Olaf's going to be able to do, especially before he's 6, because you just should be able to get a slow card, which you don't have yet, but like, when you do get your slow card, you'll be able to slow him down, and you still have your exhaust up, so you're not, like, that scared of a river gank, but you're really scared of a tri-bush gank. Right now, you can't see him if he comes this way down to lane, and they know that you don't have a ward and try, so that's, like, a very likely gank path that he's going to try. So the pink ward should really just go into your tri-bush when the lane is positioned like this. Now you're starting to need the river ward more, and you would still have that ward if you hadn't put the ward at his build, which turned out to be useful, but only because Olaf did something really silly. Alright, now there's no reason for you to be this far forward, you might as well back off a little bit, yeah. Now's a good time to go clear the ward in river, because you really do want to be denying them the vision. Okay, so to dodge Ezreal Qs, you really want to watch this side. Try to walk perpendicular to them. It's really hard. Like, his Q is, if he aims it well, he's pretty much going to hit on you. But you definitely can dodge him. You could have died there, 100%. If Ezreal just ate on top of you and then put a W and a Q and ignited you, you're almost certainly dead. Especially since you don't have your biscuit anymore. Stacking a biscuit on top of an HP pot is basically gets you out of ignite for free at level 1, and it's like really strong even after that. It's a lot of health regen really fast. But they're like, you would have died and Grace probably wouldn't have gotten a kill at all because they're really high, and the reason that they're so high HP is that you haven't really been harassing very much, which can be scary against Taric. Against Taric, well, actually, in Sona in general, I recommend running flat HP cleanse, and I actually don't think that Sona is strong at all without the flat HP cleanse. So if you get that extra 72 HP, which is like almost a Doran's worth of HP, if you get that at level 1, then you can be a lot more aggressive. And like right now, again, there's like not so much of a reason for you to be staying that far forward, but now you should definitely go back for more wards. So what you're leveling, like, this is totally fine. You can consider not taking E at level 1 or at level 4 and instead going QW. If the lane is really even, then you might want to do that, or if you're losing, you might want to do that. If you're winning really hard, then take E because you want to be able to chase them down, but if the lane is really even, you want to be able to get the advantage of having extra stats. And E isn't, like, the point of E is the slow chord, like, just the E aura isn't that much extra movement and it's very mana costly, so you're not going to be doing it that often. And the persistent aura isn't really going to give you that much of an advantage in lane. You should have healed. The first thing you should have done was to heal there. Yeah. You should have been watching your lane as you were walking back to lane, and then if he had been a little bit lower, it would have been appropriate to pass him. Like if it was necessary. Okay, sorry, so the other thing you can do in a situation like that where you really don't want to back, but it's like completely not safe for you to stay in lane, but your carry is necessarily staying for lane, just ask the jungler to give you a ward and try. Especially since the jungler was basing anyway. Like, try didn't get warded any sooner because you went back. So just ask the jungler to ward try for you. It's no big deal, like, usually the jungler will do it. I would also go red crystal before Philo. The sustain is nice, but especially against Taric, like, they can one-shot you at level 6. They can, like, literally one-shot you, so you will die before the stun expires. And they can quite possibly do it without Ezreal getting in range for you to exhaust him. So you need more HP. Let's see. 50 armor, yeah. That seems like you're earning the right range. I think. It should be flat armor, yellows, and reds. And then flat MR Quince, and then flat MR blues, and I like to run HP Quince. But if you have something else, like, you just have to play a lot more passive, which is not the greatest for Sona, but it's better to, like, play according to your build than play according to the optimal play given a different build. Okay, so like when you spend your E to go ward, that's fine when you're at 100% mana. If you're at 50% mana, that's not okay. you should be basing with your carry. Don't stay in lane. Don't stay in lane with your carry is not there. Like, you might gain 2 to 3 creeps worth of XP. Probably not a single creep worth of gold. And the chances of you dying are really big. On top of that, you don't have a single ward on you. Which means that, let's see, this one expires in about a minute and a half. Which means that in a minute and a half, you're going to need to go back to base so that you can reward that, unless you're pushing out, in which case you're probably going to want to have that bush loaded. And then this one expires, like, I guess now it's like a minute and a half. You're definitely going to need to have carry rewarded. So you absolutely should have gone back to base there. So you basically got 1 creep by staying in lane. It's not worth it at all. If you're trying to pull them away from the tower, you need to do that a little bit earlier, but it's a good thought to do it. If you know your carry's not going to be able to get a CS like that one, you can just take it. So the way your Q works is that it hits the 2 nearest targets, or if there's creeps in between you and an enemy champion, it hits the, well, not in between, but closer to. It hits the enemy champion as long as they're within an auto attack range. So if you can auto attack, you can Q. If you can Q, you can auto attack, assuming that there's lots of creeps around. So pretty much you should never get one off without the other. You should always do both of them. Like there you could have gotten 2 off. It's pretty hard to do it at exactly the same time. But if you can do that, it adds to your damage a lot. They could have one-shot you there. If Tarek, instead of backing off after stunning you, had gone forward, R, W, Ezreal, EQ, ult, you're dead. Like, no question about it, and you don't even have time to get your ult off. See, now is the thing where you don't have any wards, and you really needed the wards to be able to stay in lane. So now you have to go back. Let's see how much gold you have. Okay, personally, I think Sona's not a good item. You just spent 700 gold to get 100 HP and 2 wards, effectively. And yeah, you're going to be able to stay in lane longer because it's really 4 wards, but you don't have a pink ward on you, and you could have gotten a lot more HP if you had gotten a red crystal instead. And the fact, like, they're not punishing you for being too squishy, but they absolutely could be punishing you for being too squishy. Shut down. Yeah, run away from Tarek. He's like, that was again, you could have died. If he stunned you, stun ult shatter, Ezreal EQ ult, or like EQW ult even, with a couple auto attacks from Ezreal, you're dead. You might have been able to get your ult off that time, but like, you're incredibly squishy. So like what they should be doing is they should be stunning you, shattering, ulting you, or ult shattering you, and then exhausting Graves, and then just killing you. You should have ulted. Like, Amumu was right there. He walks up to you because he wants to stun. Even when the stun particle is on the air to you, you should have just ulted because Amumu was there. Amumu has his ult, and then he could have just gotten the kill. This is not a good dragon. You have no idea whether they have dragon or not. There's no pink here. Bot lane is there. Like, it turns out that top lane is coming from top. Like, if they had vision of you, that would have ended up really bad. Like, it worked out. If you had a pink ward, it would have been okay because lanes are pushed. Like, when you have mid lane push and you have bot lane push, it's okay to do. But only if you 100% know that they don't have a ward. And since you didn't have a pink ward, that was really good. So don't take the fact that it turned out well to mean that it was safe. I don't know if you're doing it deliberately. When you're hitting towers, just keep your QR up. I mean, you keep your QR up in general. I guess there's no reason to heal, but like even if you're low, if you're hitting a tower and you guys are alone in lane, put your QR on so you can do more damage to the tower. Are you okay? You're out of 13 mid. safe. You are just dead again.